Hi, my name is Isay Acenas. Many of you know me as Isay. I am one of this year's Fulbright Research Scholars based in the beautiful city of Cape Town, South Africa. So most days of the week you'll find me here in this red brick building. Many know it to be the home of the Two Oceans Aquarium, but if you look past the tour groups and the families who are here to enjoy their time on the waterfront, you can find me darting around and wearing two hats that have been at the cornerstone of my experience as a Fulbright Research Scholar here in South Africa. So for one, I'm currently serving as the interim entrepreneur in residence for ArtHub Africa, a startup accelerator that happens to be the very first ocean impact catalyst here on the African continent. So at any given point, I'm supporting anywhere between 5 to 8 startups, everything from product development to financial documents, investor materials, or even just having conversations about how priorities can be stacked as a very early stage company. And when I'm not doing that, I'm working as an engineer in residence, working at the intersection between hardware and marine biology. So some might ask, what does hardware even have to do with marine biology? So whereas you have the scientists who are out on the field making observations, everything from the migration patterns of blue whales to the physiological adaptations of an octopus species, you have all the folks who are behind the scenes developing the tools and equipment that enable scientists to be able to even make those observations. So in the way that someone once needed to design a research vessel to enable scientists to go out into the Arctic, you have folks like me who are developing more handheld devices that actually expand the capabilities and the breadth of in-field work by nature of increasing the kind of data sets one can acquire and also expanding the kinds of observations that a scientist or a group of scientists can actually make. Over the past year, I've worked with a few different research groups. For one, I have developed an accelerometer and camera retrofit onto a satellite tag. And so by creating this condensed device, we're able to not just track the location, but also the speed and the acceleration, and even potentially the hunting footage from the point of view of the shark themselves. So another project I'm working on is actually scaling down the size of off-the-shelf satellite tags. So what this enables us to do is to be able to tag not just smaller animals just by species, but also younger versions of relatively large animals. So all kinds of marine reptiles and marine mammals will be able to be tagged and hopefully tracked for north of a decade by scaling this even smaller than what it is right now. And what's cool about having these kinds of 3D printing, prototyping, fabrication skills is that it's not just relevant to hardware development, but also rehabilitation. So right now I'm working with a group of sea turtles who are struggling with asymmetric swimming due to lung issues. So I'm designing a pocket that can actually sit on the affected side of the sea turtle and enable interchangeable weights to be swapped through. So what this does is allows us to help rehabilitate the turtle in a way that it might change on a day-to-day basis, while also creating a crevice in the middle for a satellite tag just like this to sit in the pocket. So hopefully once the turtle is fully rehabilitated and it finally gets released, we are able to track its location for north of a decade. I think what's really exciting about being both an engineer and an entrepreneur in residence is that both lines of work are always a moving goalpost. So in the same way that I'm trying to promote the startup scene here in Cape Town by nature of working with ArtHub Africa, I'm also trying to support the expansion and the breadth of research that is done in marine biology, and always answering the question of how can I make this lighter? How can I make this more durable? How can I make this more cost-effective, while also taking into account the health, the safety, and the well-being of the animals that we are trying to not just study, but also to conserve and protect. That being said, thank you so much to everyone who has been a part of this journey, whether you've taken a 24-hour flight path to come to Cape Town and visit, or whether you've been here in Cape Town supporting me. It really means a lot, and it just makes me that much more excited to see what happens next.